Good evening, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about closing and follow-up on our team huddle today. So let's see. This is one of the most important skills in business and in networking. It's how to confidently close conversations and how to follow up without feeling awkward or pushy or weird, right? Benoit, you want to switch? This is Benoit's computer, so I don't know how to switch screens.
There you go.
There we go. Not switching. There we go. Thanks. So the truth is, most people don't fail because they lack opportunity. They fail because they don't know what to say, they don't know how to say it, and they don't know how to follow up consistently and long enough. And the problem with us in the beginning, we started in network marketing and we must have been 20, right? And so we had a long time in entrepreneurship to learn things like this. And sometimes at this later time, we assume knowledge and forget that people who aren't in sales or who aren't in this type of business or who aren't entrepreneurs, they don't necessarily know how to talk to people or how to follow up or how to close. So we've decided that's it. We got to kind of go to the basics.
When I first started in sales,
Exactly.
zero skills.
That's right. And so we read a lot of books, a lot of personal health books. What are they called? Personal development books. So the books we're going to talk to you about tonight are pretty much all the books that we read over the years, and we've read hundreds of others, just to know how to have personal skills, right? Like this, because in reality, sometimes we don't have them. You want to, what do I do? Push here?
Yeah.
I'm going to learn how to do, there we go. So today we're going to cover just 4 powerful techniques, and they're from 4 different leaders. Art will be happy to know that I'm going to start with Tom Scheiter, who's also known as Big Al. I don't know why he's known as Big Al, but he just is. And he has his method is called the magic words, right? He uses a lot of magic words. So we're going to talk about that.
And by the way, each of these authors that we're going to go over, they all have their own books. They have a bunch of books that have been published and everything else.
And we'll go over that a little bit too, but you can just Google them and find out which books they've written. So Eric Worre is the second one we're going to go over. He does a method called the 1 to 10 closing technique. And then I call it the Andrew Hoy's close, which it's probably not his. He probably borrowed it, but he's the one I heard saying it, so he gets credit. So Andrew Hoy's is in LifeWave and he's in Australia. I think they're 2-star executives. So we call that the how soon do you want your blank, right? Your goal, urgency close. And the last one we'll go over is called a relationship-based follow-up, and that's Teamzy. Teamzy is an app. It's a CRM that we also used. So we'll go over that one too. But let's start with
CRM stands for.
Oh my gosh, you ask me that every time. It's customer relationship management. How'd I do?
Yeah, good.
Is that almost right?
Yeah.
CRM. I think I got it this time. So, Art, we're going to start with Big Al for you. So, if you look him up as Tom Scheiter, because that's his actual name. Anyway, so his magic word is on the screen there. Would it be okay if everybody knows most people, ... right? And there are 2 kinds of people in the world. Okay, now these are words that trigger certain responses, right? So, anyway, he teaches also that people hate pressure, but they love making their own decisions. So instead of convincing people, his technique is about curiosity and posture. His magic words are those psychological triggers. So if you word it exactly as he does, they're going to elicit specific responses. So if you say, would it be okay if, that's very different from how about, or why don't I, right? Those are not going to be the same, right? And the words most people, for example, if you say most people do this or that, right? Everyone wants to be most people. Who doesn't want to be most people, right? We want a group, right? It's like you want to be part of the group. And so it is a psychological trigger. That's what he's talking about. Words like everybody knows blank. Even if you don't know it, you're going to say, oh yeah, I know that, right? Because that's your emotional trigger. It's crazy, but it's psychological. We're part of the herd, or if you're not part of the herd, you're going to get killed, right? Kind of thing. So want to
But
switch.
yeah, the funny part is when you were putting this together, that reminded me of when I was learning defensive driving with a company I drove for at one point, and they were saying, I said, if you analyze cars in highways and everything else, they always travel in clusters.
Oh,
Why is that?
no
Because,
way.
yeah.
Because the light was red, I thought.
No, it's, I'm talking highways. I'm not talking, or even,
Right, it's part of
yeah,
the herd,
yeah,
right?
they just feel
Out of
more
place.
secure if they're in a pack.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get back to Big Al. So these are some of his books. My favorite being The Four Color Personalities of MLM. Oh my gosh, that you just read out loud and laugh. Really, we read it as a read aloud book for the family, right? Just so funny. But anyway, all his books are a little funny. Closing books, follow-up books. You can go on his website and download his entire list of magic words. And it's signed, I guess you have to put in your email, so you signed up for his automations, but you get a nice download, so that's nice. So he's very casual, very pleasant, and he just walks people into making up their own minds. A lot of other examples are, does that make sense? What do you like best about this? Could you see yourself using this? It's all these things. How would this help you is a good one. These are things that they're open-ended, so they're going to answer you. It's not a yes or no, right? And these questions are very powerful because they lower resistance, they keep the conversation relaxed, and they get the prospect talking, which is what you want to do. You're trying to find things that you can follow up with that don't revolve around a business, right?
Every time I go, I hear about stuff like this, that makes me chuckle because this industry of direct selling was given such a bad rap because people suddenly get in a business
Oh, yeah.
and they're totally different people. And even when they talk to their friends and everything else,
Sit down and shut up.
yeah, or they talk about this and then suddenly they jump to the business part. And so people go,
What
yeah,
is wrong
so
with this person?
we are just the same. It's just you talk to people just the same.
But you do learn skills, and that's what, if you don't learn the skills, you do it wrong, and then your people run away, right?
Yeah,
Honestly, that's
yeah.
what happens. Because and then you go chasing after them about the business, when in reality, it's all about the relationship that you're building with them.
Absolutely.
So you have to be talking and letting them do most of the talking, so that you're knowing things about them, and especially what their goals are, what they want, what their children's names are, right? What
is
their
it
husband's
called?
names are. That's called FORM,
Mhm.
FORM, family, occupation, recreation.
Messaging.
There's a new one. I don't know what they call it, but anyway, the message is what we used to learn, but somebody else says it's something else now. But anyway, so let me give you a little mini example of Big Al, because we're still on Big Al. Oh my goodness. So instead of saying this business can change your life, right? Or this product will do this and that and this and that, which is what we do, obviously. Instead, Big Al would say, what would this do for you? What would change if you were to use this? And then he's going to stop talking and let that person say, right? And so that's how you know what they're thinking about. So that shifts the conversation emotionally, and it is a guide to conversations instead of pressuring conversations. That's what he does. And it is a skill you have to practice like anything else.
Yeah, and you can adapt it to your style as well.
There's certain words you should say exactly the same, the magic words, but then you're just gonna have the style. Now, if Big Al isn't your thing, we have Eric Worre. He's a little more aggressive, I would say, but I still love him. He's got a book called GoPro, which I remember being really a fond lover of that book, GoPro, right? Taught me lots. And I don't think he wrote other books. Maybe he has now, but I didn't read the other ones.
There's plenty of.
But we've went to his conferences, and he has lots of videos on, so you can follow him on YouTube, etc., Facebook, etc., all that. He's got lots of free stuff, right? Because he's all about adding value. So he does give a lot of free stuff out. Okay, so anyway, so he's a big MLM superstar, and now he has his own studio. In fact, that's the studio we use when we go to Vegas with LifeWave, not LifeWave. This is a team. They use the
January.
Worre studios, and they are awesome. They're circular, right? It's just an amazing studio. So what does he do? He has a question on a scale to 1 to 10. How ready are you to get started? Again, that's on a scale from 1 to 10. How ready are you? to use this patch or to get in this business, whatever you want to say, but I would say to use the patch or something. And this works because it avoids a yes or no pressure. It identifies concerns and opens real conversation. Why? Because this is how you use it. If they're going to say, for example, 8 or 7, the one thing you're not going to do is you're not going to say, why aren't you a 10? Huh? No, don't do that. Instead, you're going to say, okay, so you're an 8. So what makes you an 8 and not a 4? Which is surprising, right? They're going to be like, whoa, now they have to explain why they picked a higher number than 4. And what that does is it tells you why they're interested, what they already like, what they've already heard that really makes them sound like, oh, I think I'm an 8, right? And so that's when they start convincing themselves, right? So after they've told you that, then you ask, what do you want to hear from me? Or what would need to happen for you to feel like a 9 or 10? And then what's going to happen is they're going to open up to you and say, wah, wah, something. And the nice thing, so let's give you an example. So your prospect says, I think I'm a 7. You say, awesome. Why are you 7 instead of a 3? Now they begin selling themselves, right? And you're going to say, okay, what needs to happen for you to feel like a 9 or 10? And that's going to reveal the real objection, right? Maybe it's money, maybe it's this or that, but then they open up to you because you're asking those kind of questions. So you want to switch? I think the next is about Eric too, or maybe not. Maybe that was all about Eric. Who knows? Oh, it's Andrew. So Andrew Hoyes, he is really fabulous. He's very charismatic, energetic. He's also very caring and fun. And I just learned today that he has a master's in scaling businesses, entrepreneurship. Like, how amazing is that? So anyway, he's the one that we got the CRM program from. So his wife. And so he uses a 1-sentence close. And it says, how soon do you want it? How soon do you want that, whatever he just found out? It's a little more urgency and a little more commitment is what this is, right? So how soon do you want to achieve this goal? What's the goal? It's because you've had, okay, let me give you an example. You've had a conversation and it says, someone says, I want financial freedom. Oh yeah, that's what I want, financial freedom, right? And you'll say, why do you want financial freedom? Because really, financial freedom, it's not a really emotional thing yet. So you want to dig a little deeper and you want to get to an emotional reason. And so that person might say, I want to stay home with my kids, or I want my wife to be able to stay home with our kids. Now that is the real reason that they want to do this. So then that's when you say, that's awesome. How soon would you want that? Because what that's going to do is basically it's going to start them thinking, yeah, when do I want that to happen? Because people think of this as like it's pie in the sky, it's maybe someday, but you're asking them, how soon do you want this to happen? And they say usually yesterday, right? Or maybe I'd love that to happen soon as possible, but I don't know if it's going to happen, right? And your response can be, hey, let's put a plan together. Let's get this started, right? So anyway, people are delaying action because there's no one that challenges the timeline, right? This question gently creates urgency, but not pressure. So when the why becomes emotional, then the when becomes important, and you point that out with that question. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
So the next one, this is the last one I'm going to talk to you about tonight. It's Teamsy. Teamsy is a CRM, and I discovered this probably through an ad on Facebook, right? Because they just show you ads, or maybe it was someone who was talking about it, right?
No, it was, so there was one of the presenters.
Yeah, because I was looking for a CRM. I was on the hunt because when you start really seriously talking to 3-5 people a day, 5 days a week, that's a lot of people for me to remember. I'd be like, now who is that person?
Yeah, that's also a nugget here is the reason why we listen to so many presenters and we go to the events and everything else is we're always looking for that next nugget. That's how we found about
Boards.
Teamsy and boards. That's how we found out about,
Even the CRM we now
Atkins.
use,
yeah, and even Atkins,
30-second
Jay Atkins,
commercial.
yeah.
Yeah, we liked
The
Mhm.
Navarro's, the 100.
the Project
where-
100,
Yeah, and
right?
on so forth.
Yeah, there's different teams have different ways of doing things. And so I love learning from others, and it is what we do in this kind of business,
Yeah.
right? And we learn from our prospects. That's what we're doing. We're asking questions and learning about them so that we have something that we can find that's in common and we can follow up with
Mhm.
them, because Team Z will teach you. And Team Z is all about following up consistently, showing up. And I've used their CRM for 2 years. It was a great start. It doesn't serve me well now with hundreds of people. It did serve me in the
Mhm.
beginning. I'd say it's a great beginner's CRM. It was made specifically by a network marketer whose name I forgot to look up, but for network marketing. So that's what's nice about it. It really is set up for network marketing, and it works for network marketing. So
And it's very
that
visual. It's got circles.
I know it had circles before LifeWave had circles. I love those
When-
circles, and you close the circles. I love them.
So when LifeWave upgraded their
I'm so
back
excited.
office and everything else, and we're like, wait a minute, that reminds me of other circle. Yes.
I know,
So
we
excited.
loved getting those circles. So anyway, you can see his videos and courses and things that are free on YouTube. And I would definitely go watch some of his things on follow up, because it's all really about being a friendly person and a kind person and not a pushy person at all. But sometimes I find that he's a little too unpushy, right? Honestly. Did I have anything else to say about Team Z? I
Right
wrote
here, I
it in-
pushed the wrong button. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go back to reading my notes because that was all not my notes. So their basic approach. Here's an example. Here's what I didn't do as the example. So, hey, I thought about you the other day. A lot of his follow-ups are either short little calls or short little texts, right? Because he knows everyone's on text. So why not? So instead of saying, hey, did you watch that video? Did you watch that video? Did you watch that video I sent you? Like, all of your follow-ups cannot be about the business. In fact, he says, once you've told them about the business, you follow it up once or twice with the business, that's it. You don't follow up about the business anymore. Now you follow about the dog and how he's doing because he was hurt. Or, oh, I thought little Susie was going to her concert last night. How'd that go? Whatever you found out in your conversations, your follow-up is now going to turn to relationship building, and you're never going to mention LifeWave again. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but guess what? They're never going to forget. They are never going to forget that you are in LifeWave.
And so that's why it's important to have a system where you can actually put in notes. So you talked to them this week, and that's when they brought up Susie, who just needed to go to whatever, swimming.
And that's what I really learned from Teamsy, is how important these little details are. And all of a sudden, you are the nicest person in her realm of existence. Because why? Because you asked about mom who was sick, or you asked about how David's job interview go, whatever you find out. Like, sometimes I go out on their Facebook and I just see what their last post was about. And then I talk to them about that, not on Facebook, but together, right? And if they're local, you'll say, hey, let's go have a coffee. And guess what the coffee is about? The coffee time, not LifeWave. You don't even mention it. Because what finally happens is they're going to go, how's that business you told me about going? They will come to you and ask you. And that's what you want. Because the magic is not telling them, taking it away from them a little bit.
Either that, or sometimes what happens is like, yeah, you still wearing those patches? What have they done for you? There are other people wearing, and so yeah, that's exactly what happens.
It's just creating curiosity because they expect you to just shove it down.
It's a relationship. It's all
and
relationship
you're not.
marketing.
And then all of a sudden they're like, how's that going?
Yeah.
So anyway, what's the next slide? Let's push a button here. Hey, there you go. Okay, so I have one other topic we're not gonna really cover too much, but the enrollment process is part of the follow-up process. It's not as simple as just sending them a link, because let's face it, until LifeWave does the website over, we all know that we have to make this process as painless as possible. Okay, Port Xochitl in Mexico just went on, when was it, yesterday, and was trying to place a monthly order, and it was just not working. And so there's a little pain involved and a little bit of just struggle. And so we try to make it for them as least painful as possible. And hopefully it'll be very user-friendly by the end of the year. That's what we're all hoping. And it's an investment for LifeWave of millions of dollars probably to rebuild it, but that's what they've promised to do and have committed themselves to do. So in the meantime, we should maybe discuss, what are your ideas? What are your processes? How do you enroll people? And then we can bounce the ideas back and forth. But right now, I'll tell you what I do. I very rarely send out the enrollment form. I know that's like Steve's biggest thing, like just hand them the enrollment form or send a picture of it and say, here, print this out, take a picture of it, send it back. I don't really do that. I guess I could, but my people immediately go, where's your link? Can you give me your link? So what I just discovered is that LifeWave has a new page, and I don't know if it's new or if I just never saw it before, but either way, it's new to me. So it's called Join Our Community page. Okay, so if you go on the lifewave.com/ whatever your username is, you go on that and you push on opportunity. You don't sign in, right? This is when you're pretending you're a prospect, right? You go on lifewave.com/Turpin in my case, you push on opportunity, and then under opportunity, there's 3 things that have pictures, like join as a brand partner, blah, blah, blah. But weirdly, down on the 4th thing is a page called Join Our Community. That is an awesome page to send as a link, because you know what it does? It explains every way they can get started. There's retail customer, preferred customer plus, and it describes the difference in a really handy way. And then also brand partner, right? So if you go under one of those, then you can see the chart, which I think if you just roll down, you see this nice chart. So you're going on a chart, it's telling you all of these things about them, which ones have them and which ones don't. Anyway, it's a really nice 1-page thing to send them. The other thing I've learned to do, and it took me a long time to learn this, is how to make pre-populated carts, right? You can throw an X39 in the cart, you can throw the membership in the cart of the PC Plus and send them a specific PC Plus cart. And then all they have to do is fill out all of their billing information, right? They don't have to actually go do the whole process. So it's an easier step for them. So I do love now.
So are there
pre-populated carts?
Are there videos that explain to people how to do
Make one?
pre-populated?
Yes, my friend Renee, who's on here, I think, she has a wonderful video on that, which I watched and learned how to do a pre-populated cart.
Okay, so how do people get their hands on that video?
So I can upload it for you and go over that. The other thing I do, let's see, what else do I do? And let me look at my notes here. So the best way I've found so far to do it is just go over it on the phone. If someone, like we have a person said tonight, oh, I can't get on your call, but I'd love the recording, and PS, I want to sign up. So I don't know what she wants to sign up yet for. So what I told her is, great, let's do that tomorrow. And I can go through that with you. I can walk you through that with you on the phone. So I just tell them that information so that they don't have to.
So never assume anything.
I just assume they're going to want me to go over it with them on the phone, right? Now, if they don't have a specific time or whatever, I can also say, hey, I do have a video, right? So if you get lost or whatever in it, let me send you a video. But by then I'm also in the know of how they want to sign up to be a brand partner or preferred customer plus, right? So anyway, those are things that I do to enroll people, and we can go over what you guys do and discuss that. And we can even put it in a future team huddle if that helps you to go over that stuff. But we can also, you can talk to your upline about those things. And then the last thing I want to say is just follow up is about finding out their why, their reason for being interested in this in the first place. It's a great follow-up question to say, hey, I have a question for you. What made you want to take a look at this in the first place? What made you say yes to coming on tonight? Those are all things that you can ask someone as your first or second follow-up question, right? And, or even 6 months later and they're still thinking about it, you can say, hey, let me ask you a question. What made you want to look at it in the first place? Way back when, 6 months ago. But anyway, closing's not about pressuring people. It's about helping them make decisions that align with their goals, right? And how do you get there to know how to do this stuff? You practice all the time. You practice your closings, you practice your follow-ups. I also practice meeting people, right? And what am I saying? I practice that 30-second commercial from Jay Atkins, which is on my website, right? I practice those things. You can practice in a mirror. You can make videos on your phone. I'm getting to the point where I really want to make more videos for the community that we're building in our CRM for you guys. And so I have to make a lot of videos. So I'm practicing how to make a video. And I'm using my phone for that. So it's kind of crazy, but it's fun too, because then you get more comfortable with it. And then you can practice with strangers you never met, right? Because you're never going to see them again, right? So you can say stupid things to them.
Practice with
Sound stupid, right? And you can practice with your upline and with us, right? We can just bounce ideas off each other because that's what it's all about, is learning from each other. Because man, did I learn a lot in Hawaii from Renee and from Amanda. Just talking to them, I've got so many more ideas, especially the pre-populated carts. They use them all the time. Just bouncing ideas off of each other helps.
Or that join our community was like a game changer.
Yeah, exactly. Does anyone have any questions?
Do we want to stop the recording?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, please do. And then we'll ask questions.